Hey, it is September 24th. Welcome on in to Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey as we are presented to you each and every weekday by Mungenast, St. Louis Acura, and Royal Banks of Missouri. Rammer, the Cardinals play 2 today, going for a record 14 straight wins. Unbelievable to think that this is where we are, that by the end of today, the Cardinals, this Cardinal team could be seen as one of the historic teams, the most historic runs in franchise history.
Yeah, and a month ago, there were some who were, there's too many teams to climb over and that sort of thing. You have been the positive guy all along, and I've just always tried to look at the numbers and say, well, you still got a shot, and you got to get to within a certain number of games with a certain number of weeks left. And then this thing happened, and I honestly didn't think this kind of a streak, anything beyond 5 or 6 in a row, was sustainable with all the question marks the Cardinals had. But they've answered all those questions and have taken their game up a notch. Not to be Mr. Negative, but trying to be fair and balanced. Wait a minute, that's a different network. There is a new narrative going around podcasts and Twitter accounts and all that. Well, this is what we all expected all along. That's a lie. No one expected this kind of offense. Nobody. And if they did, they weren't very vocal about it. And that's including the Cardinals. So this is a level that is there were no expectations for this level of play. 12 in a row against good competition. So let's enjoy it, but let's don't try and take credit or have results-oriented thinking about it. But let's sit back and enjoy it.
It was so much fun watching yesterday as you saw the team go down early, and the Brewers came out swinging, and they had a game plan against Adam Wainwright that they executed to perfection, up 5-0 in the game. And then you start to see the Cardinals start to chip away on it. And it's a fun thing to talk about throughout all of baseball. And that's the Cardinal Devil Magic. And if you go, by the way, check out the website, cardinaldevilmagic.com. I encourage everybody out there to go and check out that website. You start to see them chip away, and it gets to a certain point now where I think national media just looks at it and goes, oh my God, they're going to come back and they're going to win this game. This is absolutely ridiculous. And I talked with Andy Bennis last night about it, and he said, when your team is on a run like this, you kind of see that and you go, okay, let's have some fun and let's see if we can come back from this. It's a new challenge to give ourselves on this hot streak.
Well, a couple of things there. You talked to Bennis. I was listening to Rick Horton yesterday when the Cardinals scored their first run to make it a 5-1 deficit. They scored the run, and Rick Horton said, back in the ball game. And I thought, come on, Rick. Come on. I tweeted about it later and apologized. And I didn't have Rick's number, but I texted John Rooney, said, let him know, because they did get back in the ball game, and it wasn't hyperbole. And by the way, I listened to a lot of the KMOX broadcasts with John and Rick and Mike Claiborne. Certainly, it's somewhat easier to sound great when great things are happening, but that broadcast crew was up to the task yesterday. It was a brilliant broadcast and a brilliant comeback game, and I wanted to tip my cap to them. And then when you talk about national media, getting ready for this broadcast, listening to MLB Network on Sirius, it's leading. It's the lead story in their news stuff, and all their commentators are talking about the Cardinals, and they're saying this isn't Homer stuff. This is the national guys saying if the Cardinals can win the play-in game, they are as dangerous or more dangerous than anybody in the field. That is not Homer stuff. That is national guys. And they qualified it with get by the first game, which is what any wild card team has to do. Get by that, and the Cardinals are the dangerous team.
Well, here you go. This is they have 2 games today, and it's crazy to think that after tonight's ball games, the Cardinals could be 6 games back from the Brewers in the NL Central with about 9 to play for each team. The possibility is there. It's a long shot. It's a long shot. Rammer, I hope they sweep this week, and I hope the Mets sweep the Brewers. So when you and I talk again on Monday, and I just text you, I'm going to litter you with texts all weekend.
No, that's beautiful. Too. Here's the deal: if I switched and jumped on your wagon train, I might break the karma, the voodoo magic. So I've got to stay where I am. If you stay where you are, and then things could work out for you.
Here you go. So we have a doubleheader today, and you mentioned the Cardinals being a dangerous team. The second game, the Cardinals will see the return of Jack Flaherty. So not many teams are able to add an arm like Jack Flaherty, the quality of arm. We don't know how healthy he is, but we know the talent of Jack Flaherty, and the Cardinals are adding him back into the rotation on September 24th. Also, the big news today, Dakota Hudson is going to be the 29th man on the roster. Who would have thought that Dakota Hudson would be playing a role in the 2021 Cardinals at this point in the year? But take care of business first. The 1:20 afternoon game, the Cardinals will send out this lineup. Tommy Edman at second.
Before you get to the lineup, because I didn't look at it on purpose.
Yeah.
It's interesting. How do you approach it? You're a manager now. And so I've always thought it was fascinating. Do you approach a doubleheader by splitting up your scrubs? You know, a couple of guys play this one, maybe a righty-lefty matchup, that sort of thing, and then a couple of scrubs in the second game. And I mean that not in a negative way, but the bench guys. Or do you play it like La Russa typically plays it? In fact, he did it yesterday with the White Sox. Play the regular lineup in the first game and play the bench in the second game. I'm torn. I think if the Cardinals had a better bench, I would probably split it. I think today, I'm guessing Schilt will play it straight like La Russa and bench in the second game. Tell me what the facts are.
I will give you the lineups, and then I'll give you my thoughts on that. They are going with Edman at second, Goldschmidt at first, O'Neill in left, Arenado at third, Carlson in right, Sosa at short, Bader in center, and Kisner is behind the plate in game one with J.A. Happ on the mound. The Cubs, by the way, Wilson Contreras leading off. Some guy named Frank Schwindel is playing first base for the Cubs.
He is an absolute stud.
Ian Happ is in right, Patrick Wisdom in left, Matt Duffy at third, Nico Horner at short, David Bodie at second. Trace Thompson is in center with Justin Steele, a lefty, on the mound. So I think the way they set it up was to get Yachty behind the plate for Jack Flaherty's return in game two, give him one of the games off.
Yep.
I wonder if we will see Paul DeJong at shortstop in game two. I also wonder, with a righty on the mound, Zach Davies in game two, if you give Nootbaar the start over somebody like Bader in game two. So those would be my changes. We know Yachty's starting game two. I think DeJong starts game two. I would not be surprised if Nootbaar also starts the second game of the doubleheader.
You might slide Rondon in somewhere too.
I don't know if you make that many changes. I think maybe you see maybe Rondon, maybe Carpenter get that opportunity on Sunday, depending on how the series goes and how other series go around Major League Baseball. Because as we look at the scoreboard, here are some of the games that we will be paying attention to this weekend. The Pirates and Phillies this is a 4-game series. They played last night, and the Phillies came back late to win that one.
They're trying to win the division.
Yeah, Pirates and Phillies, that in Philadelphia. The Nationals are taking on the Reds this weekend. And then you have the Braves, if you want to keep looking out there. The Braves and the Padres start a series tonight. The Dodgers are in Arizona. And where are the Giants at? Colorado. There they are. The Giants are in Colorado this weekend. I think we could stop looking at the Mets.
Yeah.
But I should say Mets and Brewers, because I'm still looking at that NL Central title.
Yes,
so,
you are.
Hey, let's go Mets.
Yes, you are. The Phillies are going to make a run only 2 games behind the Braves. That's going to be interesting to watch. And the Dodgers-Giants, that is going to go to the wire, I believe. And that's going to be fun to watch too. When you go back to the Cardinal game, Another guy who's been red hot playing lately is Nick Horner for the Cubs. So they've got some dangerous people in their lineup. As much as I'm a lineup nerd and I love talking about that stuff, I think the key for Mike Shildt and the Cardinals is managing the pitching staff these 4 games in 3 days. Not just the bullpen, but the whole pitching staff. How will he manage it? Who will he use? And, when does he pull a guy? And then the ramifications to the next game. So along, obviously, with wins and losses, how does Mike Shildt manage the staff?
Rammer, before we get out of here for a double header today, 1:20 and then 7:10. So, Claibs and Rooney and Horton will have a very long day at Wrigley Field at the friendly confines today for 2 7-inning games. Quick word from our friends at Royal Banks.
Royal Banks of Missouri, always there for you. And Royal Banks of Missouri is their name. Don't forget, 2 branches in Illinois, Jerseyville and Granite City, giving you the same great service and opportunities to achieve your financial goal that Royal Banks offers you on the St. Louis side of the river. Give them a call at 212-1500. 314-212-1500. And of course, go online to royalbanksofmo.com. Royal Banks, for better service means better banking. Member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Rammer, I don't know if I've worn this hat or not yet on the show, but if I have, I apologize. But it is one of my favorite Cardinal hats to wear out and about. It was a giveaway one season. It used to have the Maryville logo right there, but I removed it. Used some sewing materials and removed that. My apologies to Maryville University, but I love the white front and the color on the back. I love that. And that's why the Baltimore Orioles hat is my favorite in Major League Baseball right now. Yesterday,
I went with a vintage wear, Ballparks of the Ozarks, not to be confused with Ballparks National. And here was our other Ballparks of the Ozarks. I thought I'd bust that out. I think starting next week, though, with the Cardinals coming tra-la, I'm going all Cardinal hats the rest of the way.
All right. I don't know where I stand with my Cardinal hats, but I will do that, and I'll start busting out some Cardinal shirts as well for the postseason.
I will too, then.
So I have a lot of those.
I got 4 or 5 Cardinal jerseys and a couple extra shirts. So the bandwagon is full steam ahead.
I love it. And we'll keep it going all October long as well. Rammer, have a great weekend. I will be blowing you up with texts about the Brewers collapse all weekend long, and we will be back here on Monday for another edition of Daily Cards Live, presented by Mungenast, St. Louis Acura, and Royal Banks of Missouri, right here on ClaibsOnline.com.
St. Louis Acura is excited to announce the opening of our newly remodeled service lounge. We sell pre-owned vehicles of all makes and models and take pride in servicing what we sell. We offer free pickup and delivery service and a complimentary car wash and vacuum with every service. We also have a full-service reconditioning shop on site that can repair dents, bumpers, and wheels. As the nation's only 29-time Acura Precision Team winner for customer satisfaction, we work every day to make St. Louis Acura better than ever for you.